Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great Thursday. And of course, we are going to talk about resurrecting old consoles and stuff. And here's Retro Rob, and here's Johnny Graphics.
Hey,
So just as quick as possible, I bring you in. It's just like, screw it. We're not gonna, we're not gonna screw around. So how you guys doing this evening?
I'm pretty good. It's been a busy day. Done a lot of work. I actually wrote up a feature for megavisions.net, this website that I'm working with.
Okay.
I'm almost done with it. It's basically done. I just need to do a little bit of editing, and I've gone over the Atari 2600 Plus in that, so I'm very up to date on it. So I'm ready to talk about it.
Excellent.
I forgot my red shirt.
I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I better go change real quick.
We did this on purpose to you.
Well, we both have whitish hats on though, so we're good.
All right.
So it kind of just goes in a circle there.
Well, I'm really excited about this. It's nice that we can just sit here and just talk.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to bring this little photo up. Hey, look at that.
There it is.
It's the new Atari 2600 Plus.
Our new boy.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm interested in because it's one of those things that's probably going to feel a lot smaller when you get it in your hands.
That's what she said.
Well, it is because it's 80% smaller than the original.
80% smaller. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's 80% the footprint of the original, so it's 20% smaller.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah.
Holy crap, that's gonna be small.
Yeah, that's like.
I'm probably just gonna go ahead and start this off with for everyone and just get the angry people on here out of the way when I make this comment. But I have zero interest in this or Atari games.
Really?
Yeah, none at all. It's basically like stick figures at this point for me.
They really are.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the size of this.
Yeah, I guess it's more like the junior. I guess. Yeah.
So if people want to get upset, let's just get it out of the way now. I've tried to play these and there's nothing there for me.
Interesting. That's kind of how I feel about NES. Oddly, although I can't describe why. I don't know why.
So I can understand how even Rob would be like, yeah, it's like stick figures. And to me, most Atari games they're mini games now.
Yeah.
At best.
At best.
I think more people are blinded by the nostalgia of Atari than they are the quality. Don't get me, because I don't want to be like, oh, I hate Atari. Like, I get that there were some great key titles, right, and also that helped shape gaming for the future. But to go back and play them now for me, there's nothing there. That's all for me.
It's tough. I mean, I would definitely sympathize with you because, I would say a solid 60 to 70% of the library is borderline unplayable. I'll definitely give you that. The only area I would disagree
I'd go higher than that.
Yeah, maybe.
I would. And I love Atari, but I'd go higher than that.
You did kind of in your new video when you were talking about the titles that would be playable on the system, Scott, you were kind of saying this, which ones were kind of trash and no point. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this system includes 10 games. Right,
yeah.
Or it comes with that cart that has 10 games.
Via the dip switch.
Yeah, let's go back to that picture that I have there.
Which here we are in 2023, and you would just think that is this? I mean, it's still emulation, right?
Yes, it is.
It is, unfortunately.
So why go the route of the Switch part? Why not just have the 10 games just on the cartridge?
I'll do one better than that. If At Games, and mind you, I'm invoking At Games. If At Games can have a Genesis in which you can play Genesis cartridges on in emulation and still have 50 games on the system, how come these guys couldn't just build in 10?
Yeah, it's
and 10. Okay, Atari, listen, I like you guys, but number one, some of the games that are on here are the crappiest ones you could have put on there. And the paddle set that they have coming out.
$35 for another controller, though. Get out of town.
Wow. Well, here's my issue with this. Number one, they have this going on. So you have dip switches again. Mm-hmm. And the 3 games they give you, now I imagine there's people that have nostalgia for Night Driver, but Video Olympics... Olympics.
That one. Yeah, I didn't like that one.
All it is Pong. It's just different variants. Listen, Pong. Screw yourself. Go screw yourself. They should have added, and I'm going to get angry here. They should have added Warlords on there and Demons to Diamonds, and they should have gotten rid of frickin' Night Driver. Night Driver, yeah, insult everybody with Night Driver and Video Olympics. I gave them a great review on the Yar's Revenge Recharged. I thought it was a great game. It gets a little hard, but it's a great game. And Atari 50, I think that is the way that any collection should be. They did have a few things on there.
Retro collections ever.
But it did pave the way for better emulation for the Jaguar, so I respect that.
I do too.
That's true. There are some Jaguar games on there.
There are, and that's how they
did it.
Big PMEU, that's how he did it. He used the same emulation that they used to do Jaguar. Okay.
Like the Tempest is on there.
Yep. Yeah.
Tempest 2000
Tempest year. It's Tempest
Johnny,
year.
If you want a better edition of AVP, because you were talking about that in your video, that was one of your favorite games.
Yeah. It's so interesting. It's cool to have and mess around with, but I didn't like it like as an experience.
No, you had great points in that video though. It for the time when it came out, I remember thinking, my God, this is like the best ever. But then to replay it now, when we've played so many greater versions of any Alien game or whatever, you're just like, oh man, was that hot?
But there was something that I brought up that I don't believe anybody else did, and then a bunch of very awesome people were also touching on this in the comments, and they said, just like I did, okay, so they're going to give you one controller that has one button. Now, I have one of my Retron controllers here, and if you're going to notice, it has two buttons. Now that they also had these corners shaved off. Right? This is from the Retron 77. I have two controllers. I bought this one extra, and they comfortably put two buttons on there in case you're left-handed or right-handed. But some 7800 games require the second button. So, excuse me, Atari. Hello, Atari. Hello, are you listening, Atari? How the f*** are people going to play the other games without the other button, you idiots?
It's
just to ask.
I would think that, of course, this isn't an excuse or anything. It doesn't excuse the issue you just brought up. But as a potential solution, since it is that DB9 connector, I'm thinking, although they didn't explicitly confirm this, that you can put your Genesis controller in there and then
Well, yes, you can, but Atari shouldn't be relying on Sega to fix their faults.
You're going to cash grab another controller is what'll happen.
Well, eventually, I think so. Oh, well, here you go. Well, it's like, dude, just make it right the first damn time.
But they're not going to do that.
No. I didn't know that it doesn't play all the 2600 games. Yeah, Retro Trade. Let's pop over here real quick and I'll show you this.
Are you talking about the compatibility list?
Yeah.
There's several games that just don't work, and even more that are untested.
Yeah, the untested. I was just gonna say they wouldn't even test them. Like,
why are they not tested?
Well,
you're Atari. They're your games.
Do you see this one here? Real Sports Boxing. The one person that I was talking with, because you can upgrade this thing. You know, you can put a different version of Stella on it.
Right.
I have not been able to get paddles to work great on this no matter what. But if they're selling you paddles with the 2600 plus, obviously the paddles are going to work and work flawlessly, but they're not using Stella. They're using something else, and we don't know what that is. But this other gentleman said, or lady, I'm not sure if it was a lady or a gentleman, said that Real Sports Boxing does not work on here. The cartridge doesn't work on here either. So there's a little bit of an overlap. And of course, as we know, Pitfall 2 does not work on here. And if you look at Activision stuff, let's go down to the third parties.
Look at all those unlisted ones. Like, there's no excuse for that.
Why look at this?
Or untested, I mean.
Pitfall 2 Lost Caverns. I have one hanging here on my wall, you bastards. You want me to test it for you?
Like, can you not pay a contractor like $50 to just test all these games?
Oh, I'll do you one better. Go to John Hancock's house. He's got every Atari game there. Just take one with you.
Well, and it almost makes me think, and I don't know this, of course, but it seems like they don't want to admit that this amount of all these games actually don't work.
And that's it.
That's a suspicion.
Untested.
And I hate to think that, but it seems like a reasonable suspicion to have, because there's no excuse to have this many just not be tested. It makes no sense.
I smell something stinky. And, it
stinks.
Hey, if you're in John Hancock's house too, feel free to take some of his cereal.
Yeah, and some of his hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, at least on the 7800, you know, you have only a couple that are untested, and summer games doesn't matter anyway. That game stinks.
And when's this coming out again?
It comes out in November, and
so they have plenty of time too to do all this. I mean,
yeah, I mean they've had 50 years. You know, test them.
Touche, sir.
Bravo.
Just test the game.
Well, I said it in my video.
They already released it once.
Postpone it another month. Go to a freaking garage sale and buy some cartridges, you lazy bastards. But Johnny, you said it right. I think I smell something bad. And, you know, I understand business is business. But, you know, come out and just be honest and say they don't work. You know.
And if that's the case, why can you not get these games that are like 2 kilobytes to work? Why?
Yeah, I was going to say too, man. They don't take much.
They should all work. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Billy Sherman said the same thing that I said. You know, John Hancock has them all, and he has them all. Well, he doesn't have all of them, but he's got a great deal, and they're all in box.
Why did I think? I was thinking.
You were thinking Riggs for the cereal.
Yeah, sorry, Hancock. I'm not paying $140 to turn it on for 5 minutes so I can remember. I don't care. So.
Oh yeah, I hate this.
Eloquently said. Because
that's why I don't have this.
At the end of the day, I mean, if you don't have a PC and you're not, or a Mac for that matter, either one, and you're not emulating the ROMs that way, you know, this is going to cost you $50 or $60. It's already out there, and it's going to do the same damn thing. The only thing it's not going to do is play your 7800 games. If you can live with paying a third the price, there you go.
Yeah, and there's only, how many 7800 games are there? 50, 40? There's not that many.
There's enough to only fill this screen.
Okay, yeah. There's more games listed as untested on this list than there are 7800 games total.
Now, we were talking about this.
Bad boy.
You know, people were wanting this. So here recently, Adam Kralik, I can't remember pronounce his name right. Sorry, Adam. You know, he even did a video on this, and we've been wanting a mini for a Dreamcast or a Saturn for a while. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm okay just emulating whatever Saturn games, you know that I can.
They don't all come out great either. So.
Right, some of them don't. I have a little breaking news.
Okay.
And mind you, this is breaking. So everybody, get out your salt licks.
Oh God.
Yeah, because this, according to what I read, so coming out soon. Now everybody keeps talking about. Now this, of course, is the Hyperkin Ultra Retron N64, which has been rumored for 5, 6, 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
They had one at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo here several years ago. Metal Jesus actually saw it. And everything that I've read about it, it's still buggy. They're getting close. It could happen, but it's still Hyperkin, and
Hyperkin's hit or miss sometimes.
Hyperkin is very hit or miss.
Yeah.
And then these guys, I sent this to Rob. They're
doing a turbo too, apparently.
The Ultra FP64.
Yeah.
This is FPGA. These guys are close to production.
Is this analog,
baby?
No, this is not analog. This is a completely different company. Everything they've tested runs. Everything works because it's FPGA.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you could get like your...
And it runs smoother than the original.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully you have the option to toggle that, though. I would go FPGA for sure, so I could just use that.
So here is the Ultra FPGA website. They talk about everything, the CPU design, the bus design, interface, etc. And I don't think there's a Twitch link. I have not checked out the YouTube video, but I showed Rob, I believe it was a Twitter, X Twitter, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. From that link, yeah.
Yeah, and so you can look that up on there, anybody looking at this. But this is going to be real. And I don't know when it's going to happen, but it is going to happen. And this thing runs circles around the old one. Now, so let's talk about the dead cat in the room then. There are companies that are leaving money on the table. Now, Atari's kind of picking that money up a little bit. They're doing it way too damn late because you've already got this,
There's
and
a
then you
million little clone consoles floating around out there.
At games, you name it.
Right.
You got all that stuff going on, and now they're coming going, well, where's my cut of the money? Where's my cut of the money? Well, let's make something that'll play both of them. It'll be emulator, and then we'll get some cash. Okay, great. You want to fill your coffers a little bit? That's great. But that's not the way to go. The way to go would have been, now, if they can't get the Jaguar running, that's fine. But they should have made their own version of the Hyperkin.
Oh, the one that did like a bunch of them?
Right. Because that thing
Retron
did...
5.
Yeah, the Retron 5.
Yeah.
Because
that
thing...
emulation too as well, I believe, right?
Because if it would have played 2600, 7800, 5200, and then the same slot would have worked for 7800 and 2600, so,
right.
you're fine there. Plus Lynx games. And then if you would have thrown in Jaguar... and or maybe like Atari, I believe it's Atari 800 and Atari 400. I would pay
an extremely large amount of money for that.
Yes, $300, 350 people would have said, "Gimme."
Yeah,
and especially
the Lynx library alone would be worth it. That's like low-key their best library.
The VCS was going to bring us, so
right.
I mean, the VCS is like, here's a computer, make it what you want. So you could do that, I guess.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't come like that.
Well, I want to spend $300 where it's already on there for me.
I think that Nintendo and a lot of these companies are leaving a lot of money on the table because make yourself an HDMI Nintendo 64 with 4 ports on the front so you can run the controllers you have. Make the stupid little jumper pack built in, but make it so you can actually see it, and you can't take it out. Make it HDMI, make it play all regions, and then that's it. They would make a killing. You want to go a step further?
Like $250, and people would line up.
They would line up because if they lined up for this, if they lined up for the NES Mini, and then they re-released that once or twice, people would line up and grab that and get your salt licks out and get a grain of salt out. But according to what I've read, this winter, the Nintendo 64 Mini will be coming to fruition. We will be able to purchase it. So
it's going to be a closed box, though. It's just going to be
just a closed box, just like this. 20 games, 30 games, whatever.
I'm curious as to what titles they would put on there. So,
well, if they put GoldenEye on it, guess what? That thing will sell out like that.
Yeah.
And if they do, make a video of it so you'll get 10,000 likes on it because YouTube loves GoldenEye.
They love GoldenEye, yeah. Every damn video that I have GoldenEye in is just like, oh, hey, all right. There's money
they have
to be
the resources
had.
to do that for sure.
They have the resources.
They're going to milk everything for as long as they can, forever. And as long as they have the expansion pack on the Switch to get people to get that too, to play N64. You know what I mean? Like they're going to draw everything out and their last breath.
Yeah,
I told you what I thought.
But I think that's more or less right.
When I was commenting, remember I told you the other night how I thought it was kind of like when you get like crappy beer, it's like you buy this crappy beer and you drink it and you're like, it's all right. And you just put it in the fridge for later. Then your friend comes over and he's like, hey, you got any beer? And you're like, I got this crap in the fridge here. And then they drink it and then they leave, That's Atari for me.
Yeah, that was a beer, all right.
That was technically a beer, yes.
All right, well, I'm going to get going.
I got to go brush my teeth with some salt.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over to your neighbor's house. They've got Sega Genesis. There is an argument to be made for this thing. And if you find yourself where like you don't have a current setup to play these games, yet you happen to have some carts lying around, I don't know why you would be in both of those situations at once, but if you are, or if you just want it for some other reason. I mean, it's not like it's $500. It's not crazy.
No.
It's probably not for me.
4 payments on Klarna, so.
But we're going to say goodnight to you all, and we're going to leave you with an outro. Thank you so much for showing up. We'll see you soon.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for subscribing to Game Closet. It's absolutely free, and you can help us get to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. Hit the like button so YouTube will share our videos to more and more cool people just like you. We will see you very, very soon.